Today we're talking about solitude versus isolation and why knowing the difference can impact your health. You think being alone is self-care, but it might actually be self-destruction. How do we know for sure? You've been told that alone time is good for your mental health, that if you unplug, you sit in silence, light a candle, and journal, then you'll heal. But what if the very thing you thought was healing you is slowly draining you of mental, emotional, even physical life force? This video is about the silent difference between solitude and isolation and how confusing the two could be one of the most dangerous mistakes you've ever made.
The thin line between solitude and isolation.
We've all heard it before. You just need some time alone. Recharge, reset, rest. To be fair, that's not wrong. Solitude can be deeply restorative. Researchers back it, us therapists recommend it, but here's the truth. Solitude is chosen, isolation is imposed. One heals you, the other harms you. They may look the same on the outside, but emotionally, mentally, and even neurologically, they are polar opposites. And the line between them is so thin that most people cross it without ever realizing that they left the light and crossed into the dark. So in this video, we're going down the rabbit hole together. You'll learn why your me time might actually be making you more depressed, and how to tell with radical clarity if you're healing or hurting yourself when you're spending time alone.
The hidden costs of isolation.
Did you know being alone could be as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day? A 2023 meta-analysis found that chronic social disconnection rivals the health dangers of obesity and heavy smoking. And the worst part, you might not realize that what you're experiencing is harmful. You might just think to yourself, it's because I'm an introvert, or I'm protecting my peace. Not all isolation feels like loneliness. Some people are so used to feeling disconnected that it feels normal or it feels comfortable to them. Others rebrand their withdrawal with acceptable language like, I'm an introvert, or I'm protecting my peace, or people are draining. While sometimes true, these phrases can mask emotional avoidance, especially when disconnection becomes chronic. You don't realize it's isolation because you've redefined it as independence, or peace, or even healing. But that peace, when driven by avoidance or disconnection, can become a silent threat. Because isolation isn't quiet. It whispers lies. Lies like, nobody understands you. You're better off alone. You don't need people. You just need to stay safe. That's not healing. That's hiding. Throughout history, solitude wasn't seen as weakness. It was sacred. From ancient times, solitude was used as a tool for transformation. It wasn't about escaping people. It was about connecting with something greater than yourself, your soul, your purpose, your creator. These periods of chosen disconnection were never rooted in despair or numbness. They were rooted in intention. Modern research has caught up. Dr. Brené Brown says, you can't connect with others authentically until you've connected with yourself honestly. Intentional solitude sharpens awareness, improves problem solving, and it boosts emotional intelligence. It allows your nervous system to rest, your mind to wander creatively, and your emotions to surface in a way that demands compassion, not suppression. Solitude, when used right, doesn't disconnect you from others, but prepares you to love others better. Your brain knows the difference even if you don't.
Scientific insights on solitude and isolation.
Let's zoom in for a second. Functional MRI scans show that people experiencing prolonged unwanted isolation have increased activity in the brain's pain centers. To your brain, social rejection or the absence of connection hurts as much as physical injury. This is why isolation often comes with heightened cortisol, poor immune function, changes to memory function and sleep quality. Solitude, by contrast, activates the brain's default mode network, a brain state linked to creativity, insight, and reflection. One makes you more reactive, the other makes you more responsive. One creates more internal chaos, and the other creates more clarity. Here's where things get tricky. I know you probably don't want to hear this, but sometimes what we call solitudes is actually emotional numbing. You cancel plans, ghost friends, isolate under the mask of self-care. But deep down, you know, it's not peace you're cultivating. It's protection. Protection from rejection, vulnerability, from being seen in your mess. But real solitude doesn't avoid feelings. It amplifies them so that it can be understood, processed, and healed. Ask yourself, do I feel more connected to myself after this time alone? Do I leave solitude with more clarity or more confusion? Is this withdrawal or restoration?
Practical steps for intentional solitude.
So how do you actually use solitude as medicine and not poison? Here's what intentional solitude looks like. Time limited. You choose a specific block of time to be alone and you re-enter afterward. Number 2, emotionally honest. You bring your full self to the silence. No numbing, no scrolling, no distractions. Number 3, growth oriented. You ask yourself powerful questions. You journal, you reflect, you invite insight. And this takes practice. If you're just starting out, yes, it will feel kind of strange, but you will get the hang of it. Number 4, be spiritually open. Leave space for something greater than you, whether it's nature or God. Let's wrap this up. Solitude is powerful, but only if you know how to use it. The real danger isn't being alone, it's not knowing why you're alone. So next time you feel that urge to disconnect, ask yourself, am I healing or am I hiding? Because when solitude is intentional, it reconnects you to yourself, your purpose, and the people you love.